I'm trying to do everything for my family they couldn't do for me, no. I'm trying to have me some diamonds and money, the cars, and all of these hoes. I'm trying to hop on a flight, everyone looking up, and guess what we on? They all telling me take my time. Some problem messy, now C4, we on go.
Welcome to Spurlock's Block. This is, I think, episode 6 of the podcast.
You got 6 of them, Jones?
It might be 7, honestly. I think it's 7. 6 or 7. We're going to say 6 or 7. I can't check right now.
It's one of them numbers, though.
One of them. And, well, thanks for everybody being here. It's been a minute.
Tuning in.
And tuning in as well.
Love y'all. Supporters.
Yes, sir, Ski. We have our official new co-host, my man Jesse.
My name's Jesse.
Yeah, say, you want to talk your stuff? Go ahead, talk your stuff, man.
If y'all don't know me, I go by Jesse. A lot of people know me as Jesse. A lot of people don't like me, but hey, you know, it's life.
It's life.
And I will be co-hosting now, I guess. So I like to talk a lot, and sometimes I have a lot to say. So hey, we're here.
We have a lot of similar interests, so I thought it was just best that we just get in a lot of funny ass conversations. So I thought it was best we just get together and get on the pod together.
Yeah,
I'm tired of talking to myself to the camera, and I be wanting good
It's
conversations.
always better to have other people to talk to.
It really is. I should have started like that, but it's cool. Learning lessons, you know what I'm saying? It's life. So, but we here for real now. I know it's been a minute. For everybody that's been watching since then, thank y'all. I'm sorry it's been a minute. I just been, first I had COVID. Then after that, I quit my job. So now I'm full-time with photography and videography and the podcast. So y'all gonna see this a lot more without the waiting stuff.
Is that COVID?
Yeah, bro. Like,
You did have COVID. No,
man, like, man. I know March, yeah.
You did have COVID. I remember.
I was toe up, man. For the second time, too. Second time. But nonetheless, I'm cool now.
You vaccinated?
Yeah. I was saying, it was crazy. That's why it didn't really do nothing, though. Like, when I had vaccination, I was, like, sick for, like, a day. I was, like, sick. But after that, I was straight, though. So, it's life. So, we here now, though. Gonna start the timer. We're gonna try to keep these still at, like, 25 minutes. I ain't started yet because I wanted to, get introductions out the way. But now we can start it, so.
I ain't had COVID yet.
You lucky. It's crazy. I went to, like, Vegas and everything. Like, all these places, I didn't catch it. I caught it off working at
I was
Life Touch
traveling
with
in
kids.
in the Pandy. Traveling in the Pandy.
What they say in P Valley? The pandemic. The pandemic.
But you don't even like P Valley, bro.
But look, my girl watch it. I watch it. Here and there. I mean, it's cool. Like I say, it's not the best, but it's a good show. Yeah.
Down in the valley where the girls get naked.
I thought the song was harder though.
If you throwing bands, best believe she gonna shake it. 1, 2, break 'em.
Bro, Teak, he was tweaking.
Oh, come on, bro. Don't talk about Teak, bro, because rest in peace, Big Teak, bro.
Yeah, R.I.P., but he was tweaking, though.
Bro, if you just got out of prison after a 10-year bid and everything changed, you don't think you tweak out a little bit?
You're right. All right, let me see. He's on some other shit, man. Let's see that.
Constantly watching black folk die by police.
Yeah, I understood that, but like, honestly, I'm just talking about him and bro messing around each other. That's the only thing.
Oh no, see, look, bro, I'm not saying like, you know, that's something I want to watch, because it's not something I want to watch, but it's like, with TV shows nowadays, you have the ability to skip.
They was showing like everything though.
Like I said, with TV shows today, you have the ability to skip. And I'm not homophobic.
Do you notice though that the scenes are always longer than like the rest? Like the regular sex scenes with like Andre and Shawty, or like even like Mercedes and her girl.
Bro, them just be short.
Yeah, but when it comes to Lil Murder, whoever, them those be long. It's like you will see all this. I was like,
hey, bro, like I said, like you have the ability to skip it. So if I don't want to watch it, I just go on by my day and keep on with the regular show.
If y'all ain't watch P Valley, it's a good show. Y'all tune in.
Yeah, that's a great show. It's
show.
one of the best shows out there, honestly. Like the story behind it and everything.
Yeah, it had me on a little loop for a minute in the first season, but that's not what we can talk about today. We'll talk about music and TV later, though. I do have a couple of topics for that. But right now, we're talking about something I feel like is important to talk about. And what is it again? Oh, we're talking about. Well, you should explain it because you know more. It's really just about. Yeah.
We're talking about religion, right?
Yeah.
And basically, being Muslim in today's time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you know, a lot of people, they don't have the right perception of what it is to be a Muslim and what it is to follow Islam. But, you know, I'm hoping that somehow, some way that you'll get a little bit of understanding more of, like, why I chose it and why I believe that pretty soon, not if not, like, within the next, like, it is one of the world's biggest religions, but it's going to be the main religion of the world.
It's definitely growing more.
Because, like, people are starting to understand more, starting to do their own research, and starting to, like, figure out that, like, this is what they align with, just like I did, like, a while ago when I started questioning what religion was myself. And that's basically what we're here to talk about today and get into, because, boy...
I wanted to get his perspective, of course, because first episode I want to talk about him, and then, like I said, his religion, his feelings towards religion, what made him, venture into Islam. But also, I think it was just about basically how you started. That's the best thing. But I also want to talk about too, like the black community growing. Like if you notice, a lot of young black men are also becoming Muslim and stuff like that, and some I feel like. Well, I don't know. I can't dictate nobody else's religion for them. So it might be for real reasons, but I honestly do feel that some is more so a trend based on the music and different artists that's now being converted as well. But like, so we'll get into that. But let's start off basically telling me, like, why did you feel like you wanted to do it?
My biggest thing was, okay, so growing up, I was Christian. I was, I wasn't, it wasn't a thing that, it wasn't my choice, and it was like, when in the church, like even I went to I think like 2 or 3 churches growing up, and then finally my father, he settled at Mount Gilead, and like I didn't have a problem with Mount Gilead and what Mount Gilead had going on. It's just that a lot of the times, like the people there and the people around you, they didn't really, they cared about you, but it's like they cared about their own image in your eyes more than like being themselves. Mm-hmm. And I didn't like that. And then also another thing was, growing up in the church, you're not really allowed to question the church. Yeah. You're not really allowed to like ask like, why is that? You know what I'm saying? Because they're either gonna shut you down immediately or just go on about their day. Like, and I didn't like that at all. Because even my father himself, like, it took him a while to like start really like trying to break stuff down for me. And when he broke stuff down, I saw a lot of holes in his arguments.
And even, I didn't cut you off, but even me going to a private school, which was based on Christianity, it definitely was like, okay, this is what it is, this is what it's not. You run with it, and that's your foundation. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, we had chapel every Thursday. We heard the messages. Like, I went there from kindergarten to 6th grade. So I had the whole 9. I heard everything. And it's literally like what you hear is what you get. Like, Bible or not, no matter what, different Bible, whatever. And it's like, as I transitioned to public school and I, have my own more free will of thinking, like, It was like, okay, some of these things is kind of crazy, like their ideas, their beliefs, and then like just the indoctrination, how they dictated to like kids, definitely in the youth, is like, I feel like it's not as all cracked up to be,
because like even the United States, like they make you like say like you're a Christian because the Pledge of Allegiance, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. It's like, it's all that stuff. Like, it's they focus on Christianity so much because it's like that's their way of control, like low key.
We had 2. We had a Christian pledge allegiance and a regular American pledge allegiance.
See, like it's Christianity was their way of controlling like the mass, like of people, and it's like a lot of people wouldn't question that. Like, if you want to even go back to your roots as black people, most of us, Christianity was brought upon us when we came over here on the boats. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time, like most Africans, they're like more spiritual, and they so if not worship like just the spirits of the land. They were Muslim, and then like I just I did my research, started like studying, and this is really when it sparked off. I will say this is when it really sparked off was in 9th grade for me. And when you started doing world history, and was it world history or no? I think it was world history, and we started studying religions. And we went through Hinduism, we went through Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and like I'm looking through it, like I'm like, okay, so basically all y'all saying the same thing, but y'all just have your own way of saying it, and it's like, okay,
that was a big thing for me too. So.
If all these religions are basically saying the same thing, do right in life, and you'll be, everything in life will basically do right to you. To you, you know what I'm saying? You be a good person, do this, that'll be the thing. But my thing was this: I always believed that there was a higher being, and not a bunch of higher beings. I believe there was one higher being who created everything, and the religion that said that there was only one higher being was Islam. And that's why I was like, well, if that's the case, then this is what I believe, and this is what I've always believed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so why not, go ahead and do more research on this and focus more on this? And then I realized the more research I did and the more I looked into it, I'm like, well, I've always been a Muslim. My whole life I've been a Muslim. Like, I've been searching for peace and trying to do the right things in life and stuff like that while worshiping God. And it's like, even in like Judaism, I think Judaism, that's what the Jews is, right? Yeah, just Judaism, they believe in God. In the Quran, it's even said that like the Jews, at one point they worship the same God that we worship, and they still do worship the same God that we worship. It's just that they go by different names and everything. And in Christianity, that's the same God that we worship. The same God of Moses is the same God of Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? It's just that they decided to equate Jesus with being God. Yeah. Whereas, we don't say he's God. He's a guy. We say he's a prophet. Instead of, just saying like, he's the son of God. We don't say that. He says he's a prophet, and anything that he was done was by the will of Allah.
And I feel like as a Christian too, or going, learning Christianity, that's usually in America, that's your original one. I feel like you have to debunk a lot of the, like, as you get older, you debunk a lot of the beliefs and stuff. Because like back to what I was saying earlier, you learn one thing, talk about one thing, but as you get older, you learn new things. So it's like when you get older, and if you still choose to be a Christian or follow the religion of Christianity, you decide to kind of, I know me personally, I decide, I pick what parts I want to believe in. Like I studied like the whole thing, because like I said, a lot of it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't agree with me. So
but you
like,
still align with it. So like I said, I don't take this wrong. I don't say
we just debunking.
I don't say any religion is the wrong religion, because if you believe that, that's all power to you. And I believe that you should stick with that as much as possible, because that's what makes you feel good in life, and that's what makes you feel like you will make it to heaven. Please do that. Like, I'm not saying your religion is wrong. It's not. It's just that I align with Islam more than those other religions I ever, like, what I'm saying. When I decided to take my shahada and become Muslim, the peace that I had in life and like how much my life has improved since then, I never would have expected that. And like, I can't say anything but like alhamdulillah, like thank God, because like you saved me from a bad spot.
Did you do it in your freshman year? Oh, it was later.
When I took my shahada, it was the end of my freshman year of college. I started doing research into Islam around my sophomore, junior year in high school.
Oh, okay. So
it wasn't like a immediate like, okay, this is what I want to do. No, I sat down and like, because at first I looked at what is it with Siddhartha Gautama, Buddhism. I looked into Buddhism a lot too, like, but I was like, no, I align a little bit more with Islam more than I would these other religions. So that's why I was just like, you know what, I'm finally gonna sit down and talk to my family about this and like let them know, like, I'm not giving up, y'all religion. It's just that because if you really think about it, like, y'all religion is in my religion. You know what I'm saying? If you really like look down into it and do your research, everything that y'all believe in, like, it's basically there. It's just that we believe it in a different way.
Was it awkward talking to them at first? Or like, did it like, was
for my mother, she didn't understand it at all.
Yeah.
But then like I always like noticed, even like growing up with my mother, she just followed after my dad, what my dad wanted to do. And with my dad, he was at the age in life and like a lot of stuff was going on with him that he understood a lot more.
About what you want to do.
Like, no, just about life. Period.
Oh, okay.
Like he was less forceful with like stuff that, like, because even back then, like, he used to say I had to do this, I had to do this. That kind of stopped after a while. Like after I like really started telling him like I'm knowledgeable and stuff that I want to do. Yeah. He sat down and he would sit down and talk to me. And then another thing was one of his closest friends, who's my mentor, would sit down and talk to him about Islam a lot. And they would have they would debate back and forth about both of their religions and stuff like that. And like I feel like that gave him a lot more understanding about Islam. So he kind of felt like as long as you're not out here just living life willy nilly, you have something that you believe in, I support you all the way. And that's why I really appreciate my father, because if without him, I probably never would have been able to like be comfortable in my family being a Muslim, because he set the tones like, okay, if this is what Jesse wants to do, I support him all the way. And then eventually my sister was next, Leanna. She was next to like really like, you know, support me. My mom, she still was kind of like on the edge about it, but it's like I'm her baby, so it's like she has to love me regardless. And then eventually like these past couple years, you know, I want to say past 2 years, she's really been like, you know, really proactive about me and being a Muslim and everything like that. And I really love her for that, because it's like I see now that you getting an understanding.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That's a big thing I feel like too. That's why I asked you, because I feel like, especially in a black household, in a black community, like switching religions ain't just something you just do.
Exactly. It's not something
if your parents are rooted, or not even older, just deeply rooted in their religion, like from generation to generations, like to say you're gonna be something different is like it's a big deal. Like I can understand how it probably would have felt. That's why I asked, like, was it awkward for you doing that, because your parents are already deeply rooted in the church, stuff like that. Like
I said, the original conversation, like with my dad, it was like I was kind of scared to, like, you know, come out to him like, Dad, I think I want to be Muslim. But when I finally like worked up the courage to say it, he was like, huh, so what about it do you like? Yeah. You know, and he started asking me questions, like, and that let me know, like, it wasn't like nah, you can't do that. It was like if you really want to do this, you know, let me know that this is something you're serious about.
And those are important questions I feel like a parent should ask too. It's like, don't just be like, oh, okay, like if you really got concerns, like don't. I feel like you shouldn't just say, oh, okay, or just be like, you know, like neglect it. Like you should honestly test your kid. Like, okay, what do you know? What do you like about it?
Like,
what's your foundations?
Don't tell me this is just something that you just want to do because it's off a whim. Like, when I sat down and broke it down to him, he's like, okay, well, I see that you do have a little bit of knowledge about this, and this is something that you've actually, like, you know, taken time and thought about. So that's when he connected me with Nasir, and we ended up, you know, he kind of helped me take the next steps to becoming a Muslim. And then I ended up, you know, meeting my own friends and stuff in Islam, you know, and I keep going, and every day I learn more about it, and I just, like, I love it so much. Like, it literally saved me, like, because like I said, I was in a dark place, and without Islam, bro, like, I probably, you know, would have done something that I probably wouldn't have liked. But, like, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you, like I said, I'm glad you found yourself, you happy in your space and stuff like that. And I feel like that's why I want to talk about it. I feel like so many people are doing it now.
Like, you know, everybody should. Like I said, I really would love for everybody to be Muslim. But like I say, like this, don't sit there and believe, you know, just because this is what you were brought up with. Ask questions. You know, if you know you feel like you have questions, I ask those questions, and if they can't answer those questions, you go out there and find those answers yourself. Yeah. And I promise you find those answers, you gonna really look at stuff a little differently, and it might make you want to change a little bit. You know, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, ask those questions. Ask those questions that you've always like had in the back of your head. It's like, that don't really make that much sense about this.
All right, so now to the more broader aspect, do you, like I said, I don't want to undermine nobody's religion. I don't want to make people feel like, you know, what they believe is not, you know, accurate. They're not doing. But okay, so basically, if you know Jesse, you know Jesse's a devoted Muslim. Like, he's to the T. Like he fasts, he goes through everything.
See. Nah, I won't say that. I am a devoted Muslim, but I am not a perfect Muslim. Yeah. I strive to be one, but like I do have my own faults. So let's.
Okay. Well, nobody's perfect, so we'll give him that.
In Islam and being a Muslim, I have my faults. I do, but I try my best to, you know, do right by Allah and follow my 5 pillars. Like, I try my best.
Well, okay. Well, he's a great Muslim for what he wants to be and stuff like that. But do you feel like it's a lot of people that, I wouldn't, for lack of a better term, I'm gonna just say like a fake Muslim, somebody that's just doing it just to do it, you know? Or do you see those type of things sometimes?
My biggest thing with Islam, and this is one of the things that I loved about it, we don't judge.
Okay.
You know, it is what it is. You are what you are. If this is what you say you want to be, this is what you say you want to be. Like, you know. Yeah. But that being said, it is people who feel like, I feel like it's a trend to them. But like, even if it's just a trend to them, eventually, if you just trended and just doing it, you're eventually gonna come to a realization like, okay, this is actually like, this is real. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't like just, you know, some bullshit. Like, this is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's not my position to judge them, because at the end of the day, Allah is the only person who can judge you.
I was just saying, do you see that sometimes? I feel like I said, like music, like, you know, like a lot of artists like Kevin Gates, Lil Durk, a lot of other like figures in the music industry are Muslim, you know, and they're vocal about it more than they might have been in the past for whatever reason. So it's like, and you know, like music is a big influence, especially in the black community and like young adults and stuff. So it's like, I feel like I've seen a trend of more people that I knew in school that, you know, and like that's maybe just because they didn't, you know, express it, but just that you know, they're now saying they're Muslim or they're doing, you know, they're going to Eid, stuff like that. So I was like, I want to know, do you see that as well sometimes too?
I see it, and like it's not like one of those things where I look at it as like, oh, he's just playing around with it. I look at it as like, alhamdulillah, Allah has touched another soul. Yeah, that's how I look at it. I look at it as like, okay, somebody he has brought another person to Islam. That means that we're growing, and that like what I said a long time ago, where even like when I first became Muslim, like I told a lot of people, I was like, I believe that Islam is going to be the religion of the world, and that just, you know, it lets me know even more that people are like, Allah is touching a lot of more souls, like, and he's really like coming out here and it's like showing himself, like, you know what I'm saying, like bringing Islam to the world, like, you know what I'm saying. That's one of our things. It's like we're supposed to, you know, as much knowledge as we can give out to people. And if that knowledge that we're giving out to you about Islam is making you want, you know, attract yourself to it more and want you to actually be a Muslim, I say, like, you know, like I said, alhamdulillah, because it's like that's not something that happens every day.
Yeah, I feel like if you even saying you're doing it is for a reason. I feel like for a reason. Yeah, like you have some type of interest and feeling toward wanting to be Muslim and want to, you know, grow in Islam.
But there is a lot of, you know, I will say, I can't even call him a fake Muslim because, like I said, it's not my room to judge you. But like, it is a lot of people who I do see, like,
you get in where you want to, you know,
you apply to certain parts of your life. Yeah. And I was like, as I said, like, I don't know what they have going on in their life to make them, like, you know, do what they do. But like, I know sometimes me, like, alcohol, like, that's one of my biggest struggles right now. Like, we're not supposed to drink at all. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's gotten to a point where it's like I've gotten so used to it. It's just like it's one of the harder things for me to give up. You know, and I want to give it up. I really do. But it's like,
I mean, you still young too.
So I'm still young, and I do say that, but it's like still like I know for a fact like I'm not supposed to be doing that. But it's still like, and eventually I do say to myself like I don't smoke anymore.
No, that's good. I ain't nothing.
So like I don't smoke weed anymore. Like I don't do any other drugs. Like that's the only thing that's like really holding me back from, you know, going ahead and being on my deen all the time. And what that means is basically, you know, just being a Muslim, the Muslim that you're supposed to be following the footsteps of Muhammad.
Do you ever think you're gonna go like to like cause what's the
Hajj? My Hajj to go to the Kaaba stone. I do. I want to within the next couple of years actually make my first pilgrimage to the holy cities.
I feel like that'd be dope.
So like I do want to do that. Like hopefully within the next 2 years, like visit, you know, the holy cities. I want to go to Mecca. You know, walk around the Kaaba, touch it, kiss it, pray in the holy cities of Medina, and actually if I can make it to Jerusalem and do it one day too. I do want to see the holy mosque there too. But like I said, my Hajj is one of my, like you said, like you want to talk about the pillars, but like that is one of the like the biggest things in Islam is your Hajj. Like this is one of the pillars of faith, and just 5 of those is what: charity, fasting, prayer, the profession of faith, so the Shahada, and then the Hajj. So like it's one of the things like as a Muslim you're supposed to do. Like it's not like one of those things where it's like, you know, you can or can't. No, you're supposed to do that, but like not everybody's able. So you know, we say like you have your whole life to do it, but if you can't do it, as long as you know fulfill the other pillars, you know, that's fine too. But I do like regularly like practice my other pillars where like praying, charity. My charity is a little different. You know, I give charity by helping people and then giving back to the mosque.
Yeah, I would say charity is like financial, just like doing good service.
It is financial. It's sometimes, you know, in certain places, you know, or like certain people they say it's supposed to be financial, but like I said, not everybody's able. But like I said, I give to my mosque. You know, I make my zakat. But I also, like, as much as I can, like, I try to be as helpful to people as I possibly can without asking for anything back. Like, you know, that's me. And then, like, I've said my shahada, I've made my profession of faith where I say Allah is the only God and Muhammad, may peace be upon him, was his last prophet. And what else did I say it was? It was charity, almsgiving, prayer. Like I said, I pray 5 times a day. If not, I try to get as many as I possibly can. And with prayer, you know, we have like
rules in our prayer where it's like you can basically make up prayers if you miss them.
All right, that's cool. So yeah, so you got to pray to like a certain pray about a certain thing. I mean, on this prayer, so you pray, you pray for what you want to pray for.
We have our prayer is different than most people's because like I said, we prostrate when we pray. Where we put our face to the ground, get down on our hands and knees, and we basically submit to Allah, because that's what Islam really means, is the submission to God. So like we submit like to Him in our prayers. In our prayers, most of the time, like we have like, I think it depends on the times of day. We have a certain amount of like rakats, basically, where we say the original. What was it? I think the entrance to the Quran, the Al-Fatihah prayer, and we say that, and then usually after that, you say your prayers, like what you make dua. Dua to whatever you want after you do those like mandatory prayer like motions and stuff. And you can when you make dua, you just like praying in any other religion. You ask for what you want to ask, or you become thankful for whatever you're thankful for. But the whole time, you have to do that's in remembrance of Allah, and just that He's the one that's allowing you to get down on your knees and pray. Like that's why I feel like prayer is so great, because it's like I thank God that I can thank Him all the time. Like, cause like you brought me to this religion to be able to thank you. Like, thank you for this. Like, just giving me the ability to be able to worship you.
It's the little things like that that
like
people overlook. They go a long way.
You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you gave me the ability to get there. Like, thank you. Like, thank you. But with prayer, we face towards the holy Kaaba stone in Mecca. Every time, I believe it's we have certain ways that you can figure out where it's at. But like me, I use this little app, like the Muslim Pro app.
21st century Muslim, everybody.
Because like with me, like I have like my certain spots and like what like the main places I be at, where like I already know like which direction I'm supposed to pray in. And sometimes you're a little disoriented. Like if you're in new places, you're disoriented to where you're at and your directions and stuff. So that's why I do use that. But like keep a prayer rug in my car, so like even if I do, I'm on the road or something and I want to pray, I just go on my phone, figure out where the cobblestone is, and get down and pray. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's lovely.
Now I wonder how they did it back in the day. They probably had a map. They probably
So what happened was they probably, I feel like they followed the sun. So like,
they was star seekers and sun seekers.
The direction of the sun, like the sun, I think it rises in the
rises in the east, sets in the west.
Rises in the east and sets in the west. So it's like it's pretty easy to figure out like where the cobblestone is. Like back then, like if they did it all the time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then probably just like us, like how I just said, they have their certain places where they pray at that they just know, like, okay, this is the direction that I need to pray in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we just hit the mark. That's crazy. But this is great. I want to close by saying, like I said, I thank you for coming on for your first official hosting session, talking about it. I feel like I want to do this one first too, because I can say personally, as me still being a devout Christian, but like I said, like I talked about, still having my questions and different ideas about it. I've come to you. I've maybe asked a couple questions here and there, and like like I said, listen to music. I've even read a couple stuff like about just the idea, and I know like when my dad had his stuff going on, he was looking to it a lot too. He was doing his thing. So it's like I've been interested in a while. I haven't really taken the leap or stuff like that like how you have, but it's interests me to know about these things and learn about it, because one, I just want to know, and two is like you like I said, when you're a Christian, just any religion, you question other things. That's just being a human. Honestly, you just question stuff and question life. You should always want to learn more about everything.
And I feel like with Islam, like no Muslim will ever have a problem with sharing more knowledge about their faith, because even like it's one of our like basic things. Like it's called dawah, where it's basically we're spreading the knowledge of Islam towards people, and it's really a requirement of us to do that. Like to spread Islam as much as we can. But we really we love to speak on it, because it's like we love Islam. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's mad dope.
I never have like a problem spreading knowledge about that. I don't think there's a Muslim on this earth who would have a problem spreading knowledge of Islam. It's just that a lot of times we're met with backlash and ridicule, because a lot of stuff has been done like negatively in the name of Islam.
Yeah. That's true.
Like,
we didn't even talk about that.
Most people know like what has happened in the name of Islam that's negative, but like all I say is this: like, if you are like trying to ask questions, be open about it. Don't be spiteful about your questions, because there's been times where I've gotten into conversations with people and they've gotten angry with me because all I am, excuse me, is basically trying to spread my knowledge, and you just, you know, it goes against what you believe in, so you get angry about it. Like, and I feel like that's not the way to go about it. If you want to know about it, you know, come with an open mind. Don't come with a closed mind where it's just like you gonna bash me as soon as I answer you.
Yeah, don't be a lame, bro.
Don't be a lame.
Come with the questions because you got the question, not because you just want to argue, be argumentative, bro. That's weak. But I thank you for coming on the show. This is episode 7. Honestly, be like episode 1 for real, cause it's like 1A, because it's like a new chapter. It's like a new wave and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be fun though. I'm happy we doing this. We're gonna do a lot more. I don't know. He is a busy man right here, so we probably not gonna do it every week. We gonna probably try to do it like
I will make a commitment to do this every week.
But I don't know. I can do it every week because I be doing stuff too.
I can make a commitment to like one day out the week. I'm gonna set aside to make sure that Ranch has time for me to come on this show.
Honestly, it don't be long. I think it really just got to set everything. I feel like if I had everything set up, it probably would have been like easy and quicker. Yeah.
Snippy, snappy. We on and we in.
And we gonna have a lot of topics. Like I said, we can talk about music, you know, TV. I got some stuff to talk about with TV. We could talk about everything. You know what I'm saying? All type of real stuff, you know, factual stuff, spiritual stuff, everything. This is what the block is for. Come to the block, kick it, talk. It's gonna be nice. You gotta do it like Drink Champs had the bottles and everything.
No, fuck that. What's the people with the wings to be?
The hot wings. I don't like hot wings though, y'all. So you gonna see some garlic parmesan.
Food don't like no hot stuff. And I don't get it.
I don't like spicy stuff, bro. I like a little kick. You know what I'm saying? Some Cajun, but I can't do no hot, no scorching breath hot wings like be on hot wings. But we're gonna do that for sure. Appreciate you coming through. Episode 1 podcast, and we out. Eat some stuffed peppers.
Peace.